welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please make sure you hit like and subscribe if you like the content. Today we're going to take a look at another one of my guitars. This one right here, this beautiful guy. I get comments on this thing almost every time I play it, whether it's a video on YouTube or more often than not just some sort of little lick I've posted up on Instagram. And everybody asks me like, hey, what is that thing? That's really cool looking. So what this is a Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. Name is a bit of a mouthful. Essentially all you need to know is it's a Schecter, it's a Super Strat, it's kind of like a Charvel, and it's got 24 frets and it's pretty comfortable to play. So I'm just going to give you a quick kind of review on this guitar. I've had it for a few years now. I bought this thing probably back in I think 2018. Yeah, I've had it for quite some time in the stable now and I still really like it, and I'll just go through some of the specs on it and tell you the reasons why I enjoy this guitar so much. Alright, so I'm pretty sure Schecter still makes these things. This one is made in Indonesia. I'm pretty sure the new ones are still made in Indonesia as well. Not much I can really say about the quality other than it's good. The fit and finish on this is really nice, and considering the last two guitars I've reviewed on here were from AliExpress, it's like looking at something from a different universe. The color on this is amazing. This is called Seafoam Green, or at least Schecter's take on Seafoam Green. It's definitely more vibrant than other guitars I've played that are Seafoam Green, like the Fender Seafoam Green, which is a beautiful color, but this is just a little bit more in your face and bright, which is fantastic because, I mean, really, this is supposed to be like an 80s shred guitar. It's right in the name, Sun Valley Super Shredder. This is supposed to be a shred guitar. Shred guitars are supposed to be obnoxious, so their version of the color, just a tad bit more vibrant. Yeah, the camera's probably not doing this much justice, but really beautiful color. The paint job on it is wonderful. As far as the body itself, from what I can tell, the body is supposed to be made of mahogany, which would make you think this would be really heavy, but it's not. This is a fairly light guitar. Aside from it being made of mahogany, as you can see here, it's a bolt on the neck is maple. The route job on this is fine. Everything on it's really good. I mean, I've had this off to do some adjustments and everything is exactly how you'd expect. The quality is definitely there. As far as configuration goes, it's hum. The pickups in here are pretty neat. These are what Schecter calls EMG Retroactive Hot 70s. Again, they seem to like these really long titles, which are a mouthful to say. The voicing on them, to my ears, is very 80s. They're definitely an extremely hot pickup. I find when you play this through a clean amp, it's kind of hard to get a nice, mellow, clean sound on it because these just want to drive everything so hard. But aside from that, the voicing is really interesting. I quite like them. Lots of clarity, lots of note definition. Pickup switch here, pretty standard three-way switch. The only weird thing I will say, and this might not be weird depending on your preferences, the knobs are not volume tone, they're volume. So this volume here, which is closer to your hand, is actually the bridge volume, which kind of makes sense because, let's be honest here, with a guitar like this, you're probably going to be back here 80–90% of the time. And this, the second pot back here, which would normally be, tone or something else, is the volume for the neck. Now this is really cool because what you can do is you can, turn the neck volume all the way down, leave this volume all the way up, play something, grab this, and move it back and forth and create basically a kill switch, which is a pretty cool little bonus effect. Hey, I like it. So while we're talking about, the body, the obvious thing here is this bridge. It's a Floyd Rose Special. Have to get this up close and you can take a look at it. I mean, it looks just like every other Floyd Rose Special, with the exception of, you can probably tell, it's got, silver screws instead of the usual black ones for the I don't know, whatever these are called, these end bolts here, as well as the little bolts here which hold the saddles in place. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. Again, this is something that they're saying is special to Schecter, and it's called, are you ready for it? The Floyd Rose Special Hot Rod Locking Tremolo, because nothing on this guitar has a short name. Anyway, as far as I can tell, playability-wise, this tremolo system is identical to all my other Floyd Rose Specials. I've got quite a few of them on other guitars that you've seen me play on other videos. Stays in tune, really good bridge. I don't have any complaints about it. One thing I will say that I do quite like, which is an upgrade for sure, like I'm not sure if this steel is anything special beyond just a different colored screw. I mean, it looks great. What I do like though is they changed the arm, because if anyone here has played a Floyd Rose Special, you'll know that the arms on the Floyd Rose Special is one of the weaker points. They get loose after you screw them in, and it's hard to just put them and have them sit and not move around. This is an upgraded pull in, pull out, push one, which is nice. The bushings in here are really good. So it just stays where you put it, and it's nice and tight, good operation. I really like that, so that's a good upgrade. Go Schecter. So while we're talking about hardware, I'll also mention the tuners. I don't know if you can see these tuners on here. Let's see if I can get this on the camera and get it to focus. Come on camera, focus. There you go. These are Schecter branded tuners. I don't know where they're made. They're probably made in Indonesia just for cost saving, but they're good tuners. The ratios on them are nice. They feel good in the hand when you're moving them around. No complaints for me, good tuner. It doesn't really do a lot, really, though. I mean, like, just gets you in the ballpark, and of course with the locking trim down here with your fine tuners does all the real work. But if you weren't to lock this and use it more like a traditional Strat, I don't know why you would do that, but if you did do it, this would feel nice. So there you go. These are decent tuners. They feel good in the hand. Ratios are decent. There you are. Before we start talking about the neck, I just want to talk about this cut here. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can get this in the camera, get it to focus. There we go. So this is really comfortable. This is a nice cut that Schecter has done for access up here. Like, this is a 24 fret guitar. So this is really, really nice. This is comfortable in the hand. You can get up here, lots of access. You can touch everything easily. It cuts away nicely up here so your palm isn't really impeded as you're flying around. Really, really nice design. You can also see, I don't know if you can see it here, it's kind of beveled. You see how it bevels back like that? Again, nice little things done for player comfort. Really, really fantastic and an excellent feel. My only real gripe, and before we get into talking about the neck that I have about this, is just because these pickups that it comes with are active. It has a battery box. I'm not a big fan of changing batteries. Just, I don't know, it's a nuisance. That, and I mean, if you leave this thing plugged in, it will drain your battery, so you got to make sure you unplug it whenever you're done playing. So I assume I'm probably going to wear through a jack in a few years. But yeah, just the battery. I'm not crazy about that, but I don't have any other pickups that sound like this, so it's a trade-off, and I'm okay with it. What I will say about the battery, though, is I've had this now for, I think, 3 years or so, maybe 4. I've only had to change the battery on this thing twice, so battery life's pretty good. I do play this guitar quite a bit, so you know, take that for consideration. All right, so let's talk about the neck. This is easily my favorite part of this guitar. I love this neck. I've got, like, I don't know, over 20 guitars, well over 20 guitars. This neck, top 5. Love this neck. So it's obviously it's a maple neck. This isn't the usual kind of shape you see on a lot of Schecters. I think they're doing this now on more of their lineup, but this is kind of more of a throwback to an 80s style headstock. And yeah, for those of you with keen eyes, this looks an awful lot like another brand's headstock. Wonder who that could be. Anyway, Schecter says this is a C profile, a thin C. It definitely is thin. To me, it feels somewhere between my Kramer Focuses, my 80s ones. I've got a Focus 2000 and a Focus 6000. The Focus 2000 is kind of like more like a modern Pacer, bit of a thicker C, whereas the Focus 6000 is kind of like a super thin C. I like both of those necks immensely. This sits comfortably between those two sizes, so it's no wonder I enjoy it so much. The back of this is satin, of course, so I mean, it's nice and fast. Your hand isn't going to get stuck or caught up here flying around with gloss, which is really, really nice. 24 frets, excellent fret access. You're not going to have any issues getting way up here and doing noodly, fidgety stuff. That's easy, that's great. A nice little thing that I kind of find interesting is, this is the only guitar I have with fret dots like this. They're kind of offset, and they switch over on the 12th. Now, this is just a stylistic choice, of course, by Schecter, and of course you got your side dots. But I quite like it. I mean, it's just a little variation from the standard, you know, right down the middle and the separation. So just a few more things I should mention about this neck as I'm going through it. The frets, these are jumbo stainless steel, which feel wonderful, very slippery. Different experience. We're used to playing guitars that aren't stainless steel, like just your regular nickel frets. It's a very different sensation. I find the nickel kind of bites and fights you a bit more. The stainless is very slippery, which can be a good thing depending on how you look at it. It doesn't throw you off at first. It's a little bit different for your bending technique and vibrato, but it is quite easy once you get the hang of it. As far as truss rod adjustment goes, obviously it's not up here. It's down here, which is great. I don't know if you can see that. Whoops, let me get in close here. You get a little wheel inside there, which is really, really nice. It's the spoke kind of wheel, similar to the stuff you'd find on new Charvels, which is great. I mean, that's really easy to use. I like it when they make things like that accessible because, you know, when you get a guitar, or just over time based on what the climate's doing, whatever your temperature, humidity levels are in your own home, your neck eventually is going to need a turn or two of the truss rod. So having it accessible like that, all right. While talking about this fingerboard itself, the radius. The radius on this is quite flat. This is a 14-inch radius. I don't mind, just it seems to really complement that thin C shape really nicely, so it's comfortable. But of course it's flat, so when you're doing arpeggios or whatever, it's easy. It's nice, it's flat, it's a shredder. I mean, it's in the name, Sun Valley Super Shredder. That's what this is designed for, and it definitely shows that ergonomically in the way they put this together. And yeah, not much more I can say on that other than it looks fantastic. The neck plays beautifully. The headstock looks right. Yeah, it's a great little guitar. All right, so tones. I'll run through a few tones. I'm not going to do anything too crazy just because this is an older model guitar. There's a lot of really good reviews already on the internet about it. I'm just kind of giving you my overview on it, having owned one for a few years and really enjoying it. But yeah, I'll run through a couple just quick sounds. I probably won't do too much in the neck because, let's be honest here, you're probably going to want to hear the bridge, and I probably won't do too much clean because, again, with a guitar like this, you're not buying this thinking about doing jazz arpeggios and playing ultra clean, are you? No, you're probably going to put on some gain, your favorite dirt pedal, and play some 80s hard rock. So we'll probably do a bit of that. Alright, so there you go. That's my Sun Valley Super Shredder from Schecter in this beautiful seafoam green color. I absolutely love this guitar. These are still retailing at a pretty reasonable price. They come in a little bit cheaper than comparable Charvels. And I must say the quality on this is quite nice for the money. I haven't played any of the newer Charvels, the ones being made out of Mexico. I do own a Japanese Charvel, which is a very, very nice guitar, but I mean, if anything, you'd want to compare this probably to the modern Mexican lineup. If the Mexican lineup is anything like the Fender Mexican lineup, I'm sure they're very nice quality instruments as well. Just a tad bit more expensive. But if you're thinking or considering Charvels that kind of look like this, I'd have a look at this Schecter if you can find a dealer that's got them. You might just find this one a little bit more comfortable and suits your taste a little bit better. So yeah, give it a shot if you have the means. Anyway, yeah, so in closing, I really like this guitar. I don't foresee myself getting rid of it anytime soon. In fact, I'm actually looking for more of these. There was a model, I don't know if it's still current or not, that Schecter did have of this with a sustainer up here in the neck. And I have never played a sustainer. I think that one came in like, they had wild names as well, like a Lamborghini orange, and I think there was one in green. Anyway, the green one. I like the green one. I fancy that. If I find one, I'm probably going to buy it. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my whole review on this guitar. Hope you found this useful. Again, if you like the channel, like the content, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and interact with the algorithm. That'll help the channel grow a little bit and keep me motivated to make more videos like this. And yeah, that's all I got. So just keep on shredding, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.